Hello, and welcome back. Alright, so last time, I did a very long side quest, that ended with, fighting against Brave Lee, at long last, and getting his asterisk. And then, after I did that, I scaled Montano Villa and fought the ball that was at its peak. Rest intent.
That was great!
More like totally delicious. You've become a real master chef, Magnolia.
Vraiment? You're so kind.
Didn't you learn a new recipe from Sakura just the other day?
She did. It started with Alfred's recipe, remember? Then you got Martha at the dorms to share her secrets. You're practically a culinary expert now.
Anyway, I'd better clean up.
I'll help.
Merci. But it's quite all right. I believe the cook should also clean up.
Oh, I'm so stuffed I can hardly move. I'm just gonna conk out right here.
You shouldn't sleep right after eating, you know.
Yeah, well, what happened to eat, sleep, and be merry, huh?
That's, eat, drink, and be merry.
For tomorrow we die.
What? Who's dying?
No one, we hope. Which is why we don't want you sleeping on a full stomach.
Anyway, we'll be back on the rub-a-dub soon. I can't wait to have a good long soak.
I love the bath oil Sakura adds. The aromas are so refreshing.
She has so many different kinds, too. Rose, orange blossom, pomegranate, wild fig and ginger, and even champagne.
Huh.
Yes, sir. I could stay in the baths all day and night, looking up as the sun gives way to the stars.
Yep, soaking in a warm bath from dawn to dusk. Wouldn't that be the life?
Did you say warm water? Are you completely nuts? A bath has to be so hot you can barely stand it. Then when it feels like you can't breathe anymore, you jump out and douse yourself with cold water. That's a real bath.
So all that splashing and shrieking coming from the ladies' bath was you.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Idia's on the mark. I mean, sitting in a warm bath for hours is nice, but it does get a bit boring.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's the point if you just end up dozing off?
Don't you get tired leaping in and out of water that's either too hot or too cold?
Oh, no. It's not tiring. It's refreshing. Especially when you cap it off with...
An ice cold latte.
Exactly. Knocking back an iced latte so cold you can barely taste it.
Or you could just have a coffee.
Sir, coffee and cafe latte are completely different.
I think I can finally understand you.
And I you, my dear Idia.
They are the two more refined members of the group. Oh hey, it's Agnes.
Your Holiness, you're already here.
Caldusla disappeared from our memories, only to appear again all of a sudden. Something is amiss here.
Indeed. And the king has just shared with me an equally disturbing tale.
Do tell.
For those of us on the outside, it was as though Kaldisla suddenly returned to our memories. But for the people of this land, it was the existence of the rest of the world which came back to them only now.
A most curious state of affairs indeed. I ask of you, Vestal of Wind, beg pardon, your holiness. I would hear your counsel. Whatever should I and my kingdom do?
Your Highness, I thank you for welcoming me back to Kaldisla with such warmth. As for your question,
I'm glad your arm's feeling better.
My arm? Yes, it's fine.
That's a load off. Seeing you run about all the time, sometimes I get worried.
I'm simply doing my duty. I do not find it a burden.
So come on, spill it. Did you find out anything about Yōko?
Yōko? What are you...
but what do you think, Idia?
Huh? I think, sorry, what are we talking about?
Honestly, idiot, this is a serious meeting between world leaders.
We were discussing how the balls might be appearing.
Never mind how they appear. We don't even know where they come from.
Yeah.
That's true. And even if we did know, something is clearly different this time.
There are just too many things we don't understand about these balls.
I'm sorry. I should know more.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Magnolia. It's not your fault.
Our heroes, surely you must be exhausted after such a harrowing battle. Pray, stay the night and rest yourselves.
We just slept. Whatever.
Quelle deception. And I call myself a ball buster. What do I truly know about the balls? I never even thought to ask.
Please, don't blame yourself, Magnolia. I'm no better. I knew nothing about the true Crystal Guard. Nothing about my own brother.
You. Thank you.
Oh, there must be someone out there who can give us a clue, right?
Do
How
not
about-
judge a carrot
Yeah.
by its leaves, nor a man by his words alone.
I was just about to
True
suggest
value is
Altire.
rarely apparent on the surface, you'll find.
It's a ghost!
My young friends, it would seem you have questions about the balls, and I may very well have answers. It is, well, comme ci, comme ça. Would you start with the good news, or the bad?
Oh, this never ends well. All right, give us the good news first.
The good news is that, yes, I have finally uncovered the truth behind the balls.
Ah, la vache! You have? And what is it?
The bad news.
I'm afraid that brings us to the bad news. I believe, no, I am convinced, that the balls are the unresolved feelings of my dearest Vega given life.
C'est horrible! How can this be?
Oh, hold on a
Vega
second.
was your beloved, no? The one you left behind in the Celestial Realm?
The same. And the balls that threatened to destroy Luxemdark. As much as I am loath to admit it, they were born of our shared memories.
Yeah.
Your memories created the balls? How is that even possible?
It is only a theory, but I believe that Vega even now harbors feelings of deep yearning and remorse. And that someone, something, has seized upon these emotions, giving them physical form as weapons of mass destruction.
What a monster. Manipulating someone's feelings for such a terrible purpose.
You can say that again. So, this means that the balls come from the Celestial Realm?
That would be the only reasonable assumption.
That settles it. Altire, let's go to the Celestial Realm and save Vega from this nightmare.
If he knew a way back, he
A
would
most
have done
kind
that.
offer you. And yet I fear it is not so simple. I too long to see my Vega again. So I searched and searched for a way to reach the celestial realm, to no avail.
We'll just have to keep trying then. Never say never until you're dead.
Altair is dead.
A sentiment I shared, my dear you, which is why I kept trying, kept searching, until my death.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
A joke, my dear boy, a joke!
So you're just going to give up? You've carried on all these years in the hopes of seeing Vega again. Now you're just going to accept how things are?
Oh, of course I do not accept it. How could I accept my beloved being used as an instrument of destruction? I want to help her with all my heart, I do, and yet... My friends, might I beseech your aid?
Whoa, why so formal? Of course you can. Magnolia here is a ballbuster after all.
And even if I weren't, I would help. Anyone who'd use another's love for the purpose of evil deserves to get theirs.
Right. You've been our friend from the start, Altair. We've been through so much together. We're not giving up on you now.
Your friend? Oh, thank you, my dear children. As a matter of fact, I unearthed a new clue since coming to this place. A fairy named Anna.
Yet we know about her.
Right. It was as if Diamante was under her control.
And she mentioned something about her master, didn't she?
Oh.
I think we've seen enough to know that she's involved up to her eyeballs.
Then our course of action is clear. Search out Anna, my young friends. With all my heart. Bonne chance.
Oh boy. Now we're looking for a fairy. I suppose nowhere better to look than the site of the Great Chasm, huh?
So there was a path between Luxendark and the Celestial Realm right here. What a delightful surprise. I've been having so much fun taking out the moon that I never even thought to look for one. But this changes everything. Why, from a place like this, I can summon balls and balls galore. Those moonies can't do a thing for Luxendark if my balls come through here. They'll be pumped and primed for battle. And not only that, oh no, it might even be possible for my lord to descend upon Luxendark from here.
Oh boy.
The only fly in the ointment is you, Geneolgia, and his stupid friends. They've interfered with me every step of the way. Why, they've even recovered memories from alternate dimensions. That's basically cheating, you know. How are they doing it? Is it that hourglass they have? No, that alone wouldn't explain it. Ugh! What is their little secret?
Altair might be helping out somehow. Hello, I'm Dragon Rider Luke. I'm a Christian streamer, and I'm always up for a friendly chat about my faith. I also think that it's important that people read or hear the Word of God frequently, so the next 5 minutes or so will be a chapter from the Bible. If it feels like I'm skipping around, that's because you're not watching my videos in stream order. Exodus 19. On the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day, they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites." So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, "I am going to come to you in a dense cloud, so that the people will hear me speaking with you, and will always put their trust in you." Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, 'Be careful that you do not approach the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain is to be put to death. They are to be stoned or shot with arrows. Not a hand is to be laid on them. No person or animal shall be permitted to live. Only when the ram's horn sounds a long blast may they approach the mountain.'" After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated them, and they washed their clothes. Then he said to the people, "Prepare yourselves for the third day. Abstain from sexual relations." On the morning of the third day there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him, "Go down and warn the people so they do not force their way through to see the Lord, and many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them." Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai, because you yourself warned us, 'Put limits around the mountain and set it apart as holy.'" The Lord replied, "Go down and bring Aaron up with you. But the priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. May God bless the reading of his word.
The keystones are all in place. And yes, the door's unlocked.
Ooh, what does that mean? My guess is someone must be inside.
Let's have a look around. Be sure to wrap up warm, Magnolia. It's freezing inside.
Vampire Castle. Hey, that's Alternus's helmet.
Ooh. I don't know how this castle manages to be colder on the inside than the out.
You've been here before, Idia?
Yep.
Yeah, with Agnes and Tiz. Look, what's that? This helm. Alternus!
Stay strong, Idia. I'm sure he's all right. Let's go look for him. Look, this painting.
It's been replaced.
Yōko?
Remember what Alternus said? He was going after Yōko.
Why, if it isn't our loyal Minister of the Right.
What? Yōko?
Yōko! If you laid a hand on Alternus, I'll...
Idia, don't do anything rash.
Wise advice. We think you would do well to listen. Your knight in not-so-shining armor is fine. At least he seemed healthy, running away as fast as his legs could carry him. But enough talk about him. We are much more interested in you. Perhaps you are aware that Vampire Castle is known by another name. The Hall of Truth. where the curious can learn all there is to know. Yet some truths are not so easily faced. What of you? Would you cast off your blissful ignorance and face the truth? Then make for the floors above, but be forewarned. Before you can learn the truth, you must prove yourself worthy of it. 'Tis, do not think you can avoid the dangers that you would encounter in this place. Within these walls, the powers of Luxemdark's gods will not avail you. This is our realm. We make the rules, and you have no choice but to play by them. It is only fair, yes? A truth learned through anything other than your own efforts is no truth at all. We shall await you above. Fare thee well.
What she was talking about Tiz with is, I can't turn off encounters in here.
The truth? What is she talking about?
Tiz, we don't have to do anything she says. But what about Alternus?
At last it's working.
Alternus! Thank heavens you're safe.
Yes, it was a close call, but I made it.
You should have known it was too much to handle by yourself. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Well, you...
Oh, you blockhead!
Well, at least we know Alternus is safe. What should we do now?
Well, I don't trust that girl at all. This could very well be a trap.
That is a possibility, yes. But what if she's telling the truth?
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting. But no matter, we shall keep our promise. This is the first truth. The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber, that first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, the man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlotio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague.
Oh no.
Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather, the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned to the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port. The merry fleet sailed on for Gathalotio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Geneolgia. Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand.
Oh boy.
If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yōko!
Greed's log. 221 AO 2377. 2377 Anno Orthodoxia. February 21st. We were met at the port by a young girl. By all accounts, she is the granddaughter of our holy patron, who arranged for our entire fleet of ships. Her age, pedigree, and the quickness of her mind all recommend her. Our orders from the church are to locate, explore, and report on the ancient shrine of legend that is said to lie in this thick wood. Not all were pleased by my appointment. Yet when they heard that I had located the shrine in mere weeks, oh, how the petty songbirds did change their tunes. Pretty songbirds did change their tunes. It was not divine providence that led us here, nor even the power of the crystals. I knew the location of the ancient shrine before ever we set sail. Foundar, the first head of the great Geneolgia family, left clear precepts behind him upon his passing. These rules are designed to preserve the family's position and influence among the orthodoxy, or so it would seem, yet that was not the true purpose of the last edicts we have inherited. An admonition on how to be an admirable ruler is not all Founder left for his progeny. I decoded the secret messages couched within Founder's final testament. There I discovered the true Founder. And while it took over a dozen years, my preparations now come to bear fruit. The exploratory mission has been approved, and we are sent to discover the ancient shrine. Greed's log. 2377, Anno Orthodoxia, August 16th. I moved the spirit within the girl's body, but it would take us 3 months to move all the abundant riches within the shrine to the shore, and a further 2 months to have it all ready for transport on the ships. The statue of Cuchulainn alone, which the Orthodoxy wishes to claim for their own treasury, weighs so heavily upon the ship chosen to bear it that it seems likely to sink. It was no sooner than our fleet departed that our young guest fell ill. The girl came down with a sudden fever of unknown origins. Her grandfather, our financer, is against us sailing on and will not be persuaded by me, though I have spent days trying to get him to see reason. Sense that we are being manipulated by some force within the shadows. I made my plea to the church's upper echelon, begging to leave to transport the girl and our goods back home, but I fear my enemies struck there as well. The heads of the church, unable or unwilling to give me a direct answer, have decreed that some exorcist be sent out to meet us. Geist, a man popular with the masses, has been tasked with exorcising the evil spirits from the girl. And must we then wait to see the outcome of his ceremony? Is this some compromise meant to appease those of us who wish to set sail while allowing those in power to measure up to the ones who would oppose us? Regardless of what the church wants, the winds are beginning to blow once more. Greed's log. 2377 Anno Orthodoxia, November 1st. Reports tell us that the exorcist Geist, dispatched to us by the Orthodoxy, seems to have set out from a neighboring nation. Thanks to my spies within the church, I can now see clearly what it is my enemies have in mind. It is the one they call the Wise Man who remains so resolutely against our fleet's return home. Those who are hostile to myself are likely colluding with the intellectuals at the Office of Public Health. Their combined influence is not to be underestimated. I may be the leader of the Geneolgia family, which has so long stood at the helm of the Crystal Guard, but I know that I am being mocked as being an ambitious man. And the compassionate man who leads our fleet, the very financer who is so distressed about the girl's condition, has been another essential figure in the argument over whether to move the girl or not. I suppose our current hope is the one they refer to as the Merciful Man. And the covetous men? There is no telling how many there are, nor where they are. At any event, both those for and those against moving the girl will be watching Geist's progress with bated breath.
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log?
Yes.
No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathalatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that Greed, and Greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalatio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Denny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced two truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
Greed's log. 2377 Anno Orthodoxia, December 4th. List has been produced of all the parties who cannot be brought to our side. The elders in their ilk, all avowed to their unimpeachable morals, do not even recognize that their desperate desire to remain clean-handed is still a form of desire, of greed. They are nothing more than old fools. They need not be heeded. No, the issue lies with the ones who have no interest in profits, who refuse our temptations, cleaving instead to their own firm principles and ideals. I do not know him personally, but this young Bishop Brave, as well as Norzen, the head of research at the Office of Public Health, they and their fellows do give me cause for concern. I am ordering a thorough report of their histories so that I can determine the proper price to guarantee their assistance. 2378 Anno-Orthodoxia, March 17th. A letter arrived from the Pope. The ruling has come back in our favor, the best possible outcome we could hope for. The Pope has determined that the girl will be removed to Gathalatio. Geist had carried on with his holy rites, and none could fault his dedication. I will say for that man, for the man. Despite all our demands that he bring the exorcism to a hasty end, he carried on indifferently, keeping those interfering fools abreast of every detail that his cunning eyes noticed. For I am sure of it, Geist has been reporting to the wise man from my homeland. So I began to work upon the covetous men of the nation. Those within the church, those within the Office of Public Health, every last man with a shred of avarice in him was drawn to our aid. Next, I feigned sympathy with the wise men who were against moving the girl to my homeland. The girl is afflicted with some febrile pestilence, so I insisted that she needed to be brought to the seat of the Orthodoxy, home to the most advanced healing arts in the world. By doing so, I was successful in convincing the compassionate man as well. My maneuvering of the covetous men, my careful plans devised from within the Orthodoxy, it was these, as well as the pleas of the compassionate man and the merciful man acquiescing, which won us our ruling. The ones who lost to this day will carry on about what a sinful decision it was, but once we set sail, no one will be able to stop us. Geist, a man who only exists by the grace of the Orthodoxy, looked so very at a loss. He had been sent out by the church's orders, and now he was forced to cut the ritual short by that same church's orders. He bid the girl a courteous farewell, and then turned for home and hearth, as now do I. 2379 Anno-Orthodoxia, January 5th. The fleet, weighed down by our great load, makes slow progress. It has taken us 10 months to reach the Eternal Vortex. The girl is protected by her grandfather, ensconced in a special crafted pleasure boat meant for royalty, cushioned from the vagaries of the waves. What reports do reach us on the ship I helm tell us that she still suffers from high fevers. Our first landfall was when we pulled in at an unscheduled port to weather a sudden storm, but we have been able to continue our journey without any further unanticipated stops. We did lose 3 of our ships to pirates, who have attacked us on 2 separate occasions, but our losses remain relatively light. Now I hear some commotion from without. It seems a message has arrived.
You do take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust?
Yes.
Very well. I shall share with you the third truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague. The first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his
that's
five
why he's
senses
blind.
in the process. Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette. So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log. As the people came to learn of the terrible crimes committed by the Church, its authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the Church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
Oh hey, Parts Lab Alpha upgrade complete. Take the longest one it's got. There are no more that are able to be completed within the course of a stream. Okay, here we go. Breed's Log, 2379 Anno Orthodoxia, April 11th. It has been 1 month since our handful of ships brought the Church the means for its triumphant return from the slow decline consuming it. Our expedition's members were granted tracts of land, ancient titles, such rich rewards for the scant wealth we bore home. It would appear that the Church is even more impoverished than I had imagined, if this is how they dance for such a pittance. In a lonely village in Eternia's east, there have been reports of the plague that is spreading now across the world. The Office of Public Health has declared it a global pandemic, naming it the Great Plague, and they call the strain I brought forth from that shrine the Origin Plague. Rumors say that the young Bishop Brave wished to use the Earth Crystal to cure this pestilence. It was an unheard of idea, never dreamed of by those old men who worship the crystal blindly and will see it turned to no other purpose. Thus the proposal was ignored. Instead, the Church handed down its cruelest order yet. All of Eternia's highroads were to be blockaded. To protect the head church in the capital of Eternia, the rural villages were to be cut off from the rest of the country and abandoned to their fate. Sacrificed to save the many, just as the girl was. A woman came to my door not too long ago, bearing in tow a small boy that she claimed was mine own. I cannot claim that I never knew the woman. It may well be true. So I have given the boy a home. The manor is now filled with life and noise and children's cries, but my spirits remain as low and dark as death itself. 2381 Anno Orthodoxia, May 25th. The young Bishop Brave has left the church. We are being punished by the crystal. That baseless rumor has spread without stop. No, it is more than that. That whisper is all one hears. Terrified faces all one sees, and the longer that such whispers persist, the weaker the orthodoxy grows. With Brave's departure, something seems to have been set in motion. The experts in infectious disease, including that Norzen, have been gaining much power amidst this against this panic. The Office of Public Health now acts independently of both the nobles and the Church, carving out for itself a position where external pressures can no longer contain it. No doubt Brave was angry and disappointed with the Church establishment. Their dismissal of him and his ideas might seem reason enough for these rash behaviors, but to those with the eyes to see, it is clear that his reasons run much deeper. What insult could drive Brave to such reckless ambition? It has already been a year since Denny's mother left us, and now I find myself met with a potential fiancé, who comes recommended to me by a certain influential figure. Her family ties are respectable, though it is hard for any house to rival mine own. We are the direct descendants of the very first Pope of Crystalism. I fear she may be unhappy and ill at ease moving in the circles which House Geneolgia must. (2386) Anno-Orthodoxia, June 1st. Brave, the blasphemous usurper, he has seized his opportunity, striking out at the Orthodoxy and cutting down the Vestal of Earth to name himself Grand Marshal of the new Eternian Duchy, as he would have it be known. Carrying out the grand ritual would be a grave error. There were many, including myself, who realized that. But this! It hardly seemed possible that a man could do anything more than attempting to secure his own family and fortune across the seas, amidst the panic that has been seizing our nations, keeping them away from such madness as is seen daily now. It was unimaginable that one would be able to rally his allies and form an army, launching an assault on the church itself and occupying it with no more than 3 airships to his own side. The Grand Marshal is surely finding himself a busy man, doing rebellions as soon as they erupt, and they do erupt often, working hard to ensure stability for the common people, making efforts to master the Earth Crystal. The other day, his adjutant Kami-Izumi came and warned us in no uncertain terms that the Crystal Guard was not to fan any rebellious sentiments. He is the one who cut down that offensive woman. Now both my mansion and my Crystal Guard have fallen under their control, and still I seem powerless to oppose them. Rather, it is probably in my own best interest to feign loyalty and allegiance to their cause. I have suggested that I might provide funding for the great public works they have planned, massive undertakings that would stretch from the Temple of Earth to the city of Eternia. I received no thanks for my generous offer, only a request that the funds be transferred, and where to. I am honestly astounded by their gall. Meanwhile, the seeds which Brave planted upon leaving Eternia have now borne fruit. His comrades in the Office of Public Health claim that the Great Plague has been defeated. If it is true, it could not come at a better time. Rumors of a second pandemic have been spreading like wildfire. Orzen's research team has been fighting a battle against the fury of this plague and against time itself. Unable to secure specimens and carry out their studies with the benefit of time, the researchers ended up drawing lots amongst themselves. The losers made test subjects. They bet their own lives on their work, and many lost the wager. Still, there has been no warning from the Eye of Founder. I was granted an audience with Lord Leicester, who was appointed by Brave to his High Council, and had the opportunity to consult also with Sage Liliana. The Archduke greeted me as a descendant of that sickly man, while Liliana instead called my forefather a monster. Felt cold sweat upon my back faced with this reception. Is this a future I must look forward to?
Must you always keep us waiting so?
I'm reading!
But no matter. The 4th truth awaits you. We shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion. The Templar Braves uprising took control of the capital of Eternia, and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turn to its military might, the disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within, Greed Geneolgia, of one of the high houses of the 3 Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Geneolgia and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by 2 powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that Greed had begun to destroy. The 2 houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of houses Geneolgia and Camlin. Almost single-handedly, he fended off waves of opponents, but in the end, he was just one man. Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard. At the same time, a young man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion. The Geneolgia and Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague.
Oh no.
Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Geneolgia and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace? One tragedy giving rise to the next, a never-ending spiral of death and destruction, and at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella, so much pain, so much suffering. So much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Geneolgia.
This can't be true.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this.
But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness. So ends the story of greed Geneolgia. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not look so well. Mayhap the truth has taken its toll? Then I would advise you go no further. Farewell, my Minister of the Right. It has been so very delightful.
Breed's Log, 2387 Anno Orthodoxia. August 9th. The Archduke is a paragon among men, who carries the blood of ancient kings within his veins and thinks ever of what is best for his people. He commands a powerful army, maintains a fair taxation, and rules with grace and skill. As long as he remains at its helm, the people welcome their nation's rebirth as a duchy and rejoice. There do not appear to be any who long for the days when the Orthodoxy still ruled. The church's last source of income has been removed. We are now forbidden to collect the church taxes that once kept us going. The Crystal Orthodoxy must now survive on the paltry stipend which the duchy grants us, and we are to be a religious body and no more. All political authority now stripped from us. Even House Geneolgia, the head of the Crystal Guard from times ancient, has not been exempt from this ruthless culling. The military strength of the Crystal Guard and the esteem once paid to the Geneolgia family are both sores in the eyes of the duchy and obstacles to any hope they might have for a peaceful reign. It is as plain to me as daylight, and now I see signs of disorder brewing within even the Crystal Guard itself. Among the 5 great families, loyalty to the church runs deep, and the 2 most known for their military prowess have objected with violence to the disarmament demanded by the duchy. They do not know enough to fear this brave as I do. But more than the ardor that burns so violently among my peers, it is the silence of the Crystal Guard which haunts my thoughts at nights. The Camlan family, one of our closest allies for many years, has proposed a covenant. There is no time left for hesitation. Everything has been arranged. They have all agreed. We will rise to action and bring them all down. We will abandon the house that wishes to wait and see how things progress before taking any decisive action. We need heed them not. They can be placated later or removed by force. What we must do now is gather more forces than our enemy. All hinges on the question of whether we can carry out our attack before our foes are able to finish their own preparations. A young knight named Nikolai, covered with minor wounds, brought word that the famous leader of the enemy's troops, the great swordsman Jerome Balestra, was dead in battle. It wasn't meant to happen like this. I wish to win in fair combat. His words reeked with such naive discontent, the foolish boy. The flames which engulfed Balestra lit the sky over the mountains, scorching the night with red light. My second son, born so many years after the first, cried the entire night, refusing to be soothed by anything. It is almost as though this innocent babe, yet ignorant of the world, was crying for the sins of a man like myself, who would cast a former friend down without remorse. The fortunes of the two fallen houses will be seized and war reparations paid out, and then there are negotiations with the duchy, renunciation of our arms. There are so many things I must yet attend to. It seems I am not to sleep this night, nor many nights to come. 2387 Anna Orthodoxia, December 16th. The Crystal Guard has abandoned the arms which were once its sole purpose for being. The 3 cavaliers and every last knight in the Crystal Guard now possess no more than pretty titles. The people mock us, pointing to the arms that still decorate our surcoats. They ask whether the White Lion still has claws. 4 months have passed already since the trials of the White Lion, and the Duchy sends us unimaginable news. They say that House Geneolgia and House Camlan, as families of influence and power, should take to the hills and weed out any enemies. They even grant us permission to raise private armies for this purpose. The many soldiers who lost their livings when the Crystal Guard's numbers were reduced to the current Spartan figures, and especially the many who came from the 2 great houses, have been taking up brigandry and mercenary work, preying on the ruined villages of the borders which fell to the Great Plague. It seems even the powerful and famed Eternian forces have had difficulty subjugating these bandits, who have far greater numbers, and so private armies have been sanctioned to deal with the scourge. Even if it is true that we once faced one another across the battle lines, these foes we are to destroy were long members of the same Crystal Guard. Men who the Orthodoxy still owes for their loyalty, men who feel slighted by the Duchy, men who know no trade or skill by which to make a living but the arts of war. Even the heroes who claim to have been there when the witch's village was burned, all have rushed to take up the title of brigand, thief, villain. We took some 10,000 good men. The warriors of House Geneolgia have always made up half of the Crystal Guard, even in ancient times, so the number was not difficult to muster. House Camlan split the task with us, and we made the circuit of the borderlands. And everywhere we went, the bandits disappeared. And everywhere the bandits disappeared, our own numbers swelled. The events of the Eternal Vortex, the blockading of Eternia's roads, and the sacrifice of the villages, the trials of the White Lion, truly every time that I betray my fellows, my own fortunes seem to grow the better for it. What great epitaph will grace my grave one day, I wonder? Will I be remembered as one of the greatest heads that Geneolgia family has known? $23.95 Anna Orthodoxia, February 18th. So, 8 years later. The pain in my back becomes intolerable. More days than not, I find that my coughing fits have brought up blood. Sleep escapes me, and my wits wander more and more often. Even the bright voices of the children pain my ears and strain my temper. My elder boy, Denny, is blessed with many gifts, and he is a courageous boy. No man could be disappointed with him. The younger boy, though, you can claim an impeccable bloodline, though his wisdom is yet an unknown. To whom do I bequeath all that I have? Is it skill or blood which matters? If only I had that sword, the sword that can cut through anything, even doubt. I cannot die yet. Not until I fulfill the promise. Not yet.
Wait, I remember this blade.
The Sword of the Brave.
I expected you sooner, but you have come, despite our warning. You need not explain yourself. When the truth sings, who can resist its siren call? Let me tell you my story. I am a presence once known as a yokai. What does the word mean? Nothing to me. I am I, nothing more, nothing less. I belong to and am beholden to no man. I have but one desire, to change this world we live in. Only those who have achieved true growth can lift the world to a higher plane, the next layer. So has the tapestry of history been woven, and so it shall continue to be. True growth means accepting all within you, seeing through the lies you tell yourself, and becoming that which you were meant to be. In that sense, one could also say, the more that is sealed away within your heart, the greater and stronger you might still grow. But few have the courage to brave the dark depths within their heart and achieve their true potential. Many have tried, and most have met with fates worse than death. Oh, but there is one heart I've yet to peek within, isn't there? Let us see what you are hiding from us, Idia.
My name is Idia Lee, daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. For so long I was proud of myself, of my position, of my family. But 2.5 years ago, I turned my back on it all.
And why did you do this?
I just couldn't accept what the Duchy was doing.
Is that the whole reason? Or was it because you wanted to assert yourself, to claim your own identity?
No,
Were you seeking someone's approval? Tell me.
My father. I wanted his recognition.
Very good, Idia. Now let us go deeper. Loneliness. That is what you feel deep in your heart.
That's not true!
Of course it is. You do your best to hide it, of course. You smile and play your role. But Agnes has Tiz. Magnolia has you. Musser has Brave. Eleanor has Commander Goodman. Amy and Panettone. Holly and Barris. You see their joy, and you feel loneliness, sadness, fear.
Stop it!
For you had someone too, but he left you far, far behind. You will never see him again. The one you cared for more than anyone else in this world. And what hurts most of all is that he chose to leave you. You told yourself you were strong, that you would be fine on your own. Alone forever, with no one to stand by you. Not now, not when you grow old, not when you die. This is your truth, is it not, Idia?
I miss him. Ringabel.
Idia!
Ringabel?
In the flesh. I'm sorry, it isn't like me
Note
to keep a lady
that
waiting.
scarf on his wrist.
Alone? Nonsense. I've always been at your side, Idia. In Geyser Grotto, in Florum, even in Caldisla. I never forgot you, not for a fleeting moment.
Yep.
Don't believe me? Here, have a look at my journal.
It's always about you, isn't it? I hate you!
Sorry, I didn't mean to tease. Now, shall we return together?
Ringabel? It's you!
You were Ringabel? That Ringabel?
The one and only. But the merry...
Every time we saw him with that scarf.
We have a fox to catch.
That was the Ringabel that we were... that was the Alternus that we were seeing. Every time we saw him with that scarf. And that's why you would see one without it and one with it. And the one without it was always confused about what we were talking about when we mentioned the one with it. Yeah, that's why. And that's why they gave it to him that early on, so you could tell the difference between them. Now, I saw that coming, but I'm not so sure that anyone else did.
You mean Yōko?
Precisely. Locked in battle with the Plains Wardens, my comrades.
Plains Watsons?
What are you even talking about?
I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain. I am forbidden from divulging classified information, but I will tell you what I can. We Plains Wardens are, as our name implies, the wardens of many and myriad planes of existence. That didn't quite clear things up? Allow me to elaborate. The tale would be best heard from Yōko herself, but this is one truth that fox won't be so generous about sharing. She spoke of a wish to change the world, yes? To make it a better place? She lies. She exists only to create chaos, and to revel in it. She uses our guilt, our sins, real and perceived, to achieve her nefarious ends. Do not listen to her deceitful words. Growing as a human being is about more than dredging up old fears and traumas. After our encounter in Geyser Grotto, I contacted my superiors. Apparently, Yōko has been designated by our department as an S-rank malevolent spirit of concern. It would seem she's been lurking on this planet for 4.6 billion years, give or take.
Are you sure that information isn't classified?
The point is, I intend to defeat her and close the book on her villainy. But I'll be needing your help to chase her down, my friends.
Of course! You can count on us.
But just look at you. A Plains Warden. Whatever that is, I guess you're moving up in the world.
In the many worlds.
And you'd expect any less from me? Now, let's go catch this fox by the tail. No matter what the cost, I must defeat her. Yes, I must, so that none need lose another of their loved ones again.
Rest intent.
Ah, that was simply scrumptious. My road has been a lonely one. It is comforting indeed to dine in the company of friends once more.
Here's your coffee, Sir Ringabel.
Thank you, my boy. Harina Mountain Blend. Ooh, these are fine beans indeed.
Well, I think I'll clean up. Care to help, Magnolia?
Oh, of course.
You keep rubbing your arm. Has your wound healed?
Oh, more or less.
You've been watching over us. For all this time.
Yep.
You could have said something, you know. You could have told me it was you. Would it have killed you to come out and say, "Hey, Idia, I'm back"? Well, say it. Say it already!
Aww.
Well, what are you waiting for?
You too, old friend?
Just say it, Ringabel.
Yes. I should have said it much earlier. To all of you. I'm back, my friends.
There. Was that so hard?
Good to have you back, Ringabel.
I should say something to Agnes, too.
She'd like that. I know she would.
You yourself. What are you doing there?
Her Holiness is in the bath. She asked me to take her calls.
Aww.
But then suddenly I had these bad stomach cramps and I had to run to the restroom. Yes, it was a close call. Ah, what am I saying? It's not important. What are you doing with Idia? Well, wait. That voice. From my dream. After the Kaiser attacked, I was gravely wounded, delirious. I could scarcely move. Fear not, I shall protect them, the Grand Marshal and Idia both. That voice was...
That's quite enough, friend. I'm not interested in your, or any man's, dreams. Moving on to matters of greater import. Did you say Agnes was in the bath?
Yes, what of it?
Oh dear.
well.
Ring a bell.
This is a matter of the utmost urgency. I repeat, must speak to Her Holiness at once.
Ring a
Don't
bell.
switch the camera off. To her side, quickly, man.
Camera? I don't understand.
No, wait!
Yeah.
Shall I put a muzzle on you, Ringabel?
Forgive me. It was an innocent slip of the tongue.
Innocent.
Tell us, Ringabel. After all that happened, did you find the world you were looking for?
Why, yes. Yes, I did.
Wait a minute. The chasm disappeared, right? So how'd you get here?
Now that's a long story.
I'd be interested in hearing it.
And hear it you shall, my fair lady. You see, I wanted nothing more than to protect my dear Idia here, and so...
Then why didn't you show your face? Why did you hide from me, you heartless pig?
Yo, oh, let go! Idia, mercy!
Huh? You? What's the matter?
The croissants! The ones I set aside for breakfast, they're gone! Idia!
What? I didn't touch them.
And with that, let's get going.
Ring a bell ate them.
Late as ever.
Foul demon, prepare yourself.
Prepare myself? For what, little man? When last I saw you, you were down below, cowering in terror.
Cowering? Hardly. Anyhow, I've returned, and I've brought my friends.
Ringabel, your wounds are still fresh. Leave Yōko to us.
That's right. You've done enough for us. It's time we returned the favor.
Right! Ringabel, you provide backup, okay?
Monsieur Plainswarden, stand back and watch a ballbuster in action.
But this was supposed to be my time to shine. All right. Go get her, and know that you have the best backup any dimension has to offer. Now, is everyone ready?
Alright, let's do this.
I am alone. I belong to no one.
and nothing. I have no need of names, but you may call me Yōko, the yokai. You wish to hear the truth? Then prove yourselves worthy of it. Claim it with your own strength, and the truth shall be yours.
Did you see that HP? She has 131,500 HP. That is the highest HP we've seen by a lot.
I vow to protect you, no matter what. I believe it's my turn.
Who wants a beating?
You, Geneolgia, scion of the ambitious man. You struggle to free yourself from the weight of your family and its blood-soaked past. You, Geneolgia, son of the villain who unleashed the Great Plague. Spawn of evil. How many lives has your great house ruined? Your family, friends, benefactors. How many fates have they twisted? Yet still you fight on, certain of your cause. Fight on, spawn of evil. Fight and carry on your legacy of sin.
Shut up! Founder is founder! And my father is my father! They have nothing to do with me!
Yes, yes. Deny your past and bring about a revolution.
That's not what I mean!
Oh, but you sound so much like them. Dreaming of revolution, burning with ideals, and drowning in sentiment. Like father, like son.
Enough!
I'll strike like a thunder god to the heart.
Yeah, so he uses his special every other turn for the entire fight.
Romance is a man's highest calling.
I'm not pulling any punches. Here I go! Hut!
Ladies, to my side.
He basically maintains our specials throughout the entire fight. Also, he does steadily more damage every time he does that.
I'll save everyone. Ladies first, of course.
Thank you.
Are strong. You'll bear witness to the final truth. Then go forth. It is yours for the seeing.
Yeah, that was a fast way to get through 131,000 health. Diz gained a level. Idia gained a level. You gained a job level and learned the support ability Pierce Default. I got an elixir. And the Yokai Asterisk. Yokai! Awaken the dormant potential deep within. Summon 7 deadly demons. Favors the katana. Specialty Echo. Job command Diabolism. I would like to rest in the cottage.
Late again. Although measured against my own eternity, 2 decades is barely the blink of an eye. In that sense, you are ahead of your time, you Geneolgia. To tell the story of Founder, we must go back far, far into the past. Yes, this is a tale from the far side of time. One day, two people came sailing in on a glimmering ship. I took quite a liking to these travelers from another world.
Oh, this is
I
Altair.
guided them through this world of ours as they sought a way back to their own. None of us foresaw what would happen next. It happened in a laboratory on board their vessel. A rare disease from their world somehow became mixed with a deadly illness from ours. The seeds of what would come to be known as the Origin Plague multiplied at breathtaking speed, spreading beyond anyone's control. If left unchecked, the plague would claim all life on this planet, everyone I loved. So I took the seeds of disease within me and begged the two to seal me away. And then I slept. Months and years and centuries passed. For 1,000 eons I slumbered. In time, the people came to believe that the cave in which I slept housed a god. They built a shrine at its entrance. The dynasty that built the shrine prospered, built a mighty civilization, then fell, as dynasties are wont to do. Through it all, I slept, forgotten, until some 24 short centuries ago. Founder came and roused me from slumber. He heard my story. He spoke to me. I can do nothing for you, he said. But someday one of my line will find a cure for the plague within you. Yes, someday he will come for you. So he said, as tears welled in his eyes. At last, at long, long last, I will be free of this curse. Such was my final thought as I drifted back to sleep. I slept again, a shorter slumber. 2 decades ago, I awoke to see greed standing before me. When I saw the ambition in his eyes, I knew. He was the one of whom Founder had spoken. As my forefather promised, so have I come. He spoke, answering the question I dared not ask. Greed flattered himself, believing he was the man destined to be my rescuer. He meant to sail me to Gathalatio, that he might there find the cure for the plague inside me. But such hope was short-lived. The plague spread and spread quickly, and so he sunk me, sunk all of us to the murky depths of the sea. He did this that Gathalatio, Eternia, and humanity itself might be saved. In his eyes, too, welled those pained tears. Yes, just like Founder before him. I understood everything but said nothing. Once again, I closed my eyes. As the waves claimed me, I could hear him cry out, I shall put an end to this foul plague. After that, Greed's heart turned cold. Kindness, human affection, such emotions were lost to him. They had sunk to the lonely depths, along with his ships, one girl, and countless treasures.
Father.
Do not cry, you. Strange as it may seem, I am grateful to Greed and to Founder both. Because of Founder, who woke me from slumber, I was able to learn that an old friend was safe. And Greed's heartless decision did help bring the second pandemic to an end. Greed and Founder, two men of ambition. For better or worse, they changed the course of history and shaped this world. Now it is your turn, you. Yes, I will be watching with interest to see how your chapter of history plays out.
Thank you, my friends. You've been most cooperative. Idia, you have my gratitude.
Wait, what's going on? This better not be another goodbye.
Forgive me. Strictly speaking, I was not supposed to reveal my identity in the first place. Because this pocket we're in belongs to Yōko, we were able to make an exception. But only for a short time.
No! Just stop right there. You can't leave me again.
Idia, I never left you and I never will. It's like I said after all. Wherever, whenever you are in peril, there I will be.
Ringabel.
But before I go, I have a task for you, Magnolia.
Me? What would that be?
Yōko, with her unearthly powers, held sway over the sins of mankind. But now that she has left us, these sins will be unleashed, free to run rampant over our world, in the form of fearsome beasts.
Balls.
Oh, je comprends. Say no more. I've got it under control. As a ballbuster, protecting the peace of Luxemdark is my sworn duty. We shall find these beasts of sin and destroy them when we do.
If our information is correct, the beasts slumber. They sleep in great monoliths, stone monuments scattered across the land. Ah, and Tiz, I have a special request for you as well.
Of course, anything you say.
Tell Her Holiness Pope Agnes that Ringabel sends his regards. But I fear all good things must come to an end. And now I'd best be on my way.
Ringabel, no!
Fear not, for we shall meet again. Till then, my friends, be well!
We trade in magic here. Level 7? Razal, a spell that revives the entire party from KO. Yeah, I know I can't use it yet. Flare, a spell that deals major fire damage. Okay, for Razal, revive all targets from KO and restore HP. Moreover, the spell has a 70% chance to cause death when used on undead enemies. This spell cannot be reflected. Flare, deal major fire damage to all targets. This spell cannot be reflected. Quitga, raise hit count to by 100%. This spell cannot be reflected. Duration 5 turns. Fate, make an ally target fall in love with you. You cannot fall in love with yourself. If modified by with the spellcraft Spell Rain, targets may fall in love with combatants other than the caster. Status Barrier, protect the target from all status ailments. Single target, duration 4 turns.
Beasts and monoliths?
What's the matter, Tiz?
I was thinking about what Ringabel said. About these beasts that have taken the form of monoliths.
You mean the monsters that appeared because Yōko isn't around anymore to control humanity's sins?
We shouldn't mess around. We need to find those monuments and get rid of these sin beasts before they cause real trouble.
D'accord, but first we must prepare for the trials ahead. Do you think this is where one of those sin beasts is hiding?
I put my peeg on it.
But it's just a slab of stone. Very large, yes, but unremarkable.
Look out! Something big is happening!
Look! Something's coming out!
I don't see anything. But wait! There it is!
What is it?
Lucifer! The manifestation of pride!
Well,
Look
there's
sharp,
probably
everyone.
7 of them. Lucifer. 100,000 HP, weak to wind. Ow! Limit break.
And better than ever.
Elixir.
Whew, it's gone. We did it.
We sure did. Huh? What's this feeling?
Lucifer's power! The power of pride is ours! But we must hurry to the next monolith!
You obtained the Scroll of Pride. I have to grab these in order to make use of the yokai asterisk.
Equipment? Check. Hearts of courage? Check. Now, Mesame, let's do this. The monument.
There it is.
Wait.
Good grief, is that...
Belphegor, the manifestation of sloth. Look sharp, everyone.
$100,000 health, weak to fire. What? Physical... Oh no, it's... Oh no. If you do anything other than what he's weak to, he... Okay. Well, that's just fun. I don't have any ability to do that. Oh, hold on. I have these. I guess I can do those. Really? He swapped again. How am I supposed to deal with this? What? So it changes the instant that he does anything? He takes damage? Okay, that's gonna be loads of fun. Weak to water. Lightning. At least I have... Summoning has all elements, so there's that, I guess. Fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. Lightning. Sure, why not? Fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. Oh, hold on. This is going in a cycle. I can work with that. So it's lightning, fire, water, lightning. Fire, water, lightning, fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. Lightning, fire, water, lightning. Fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. Lightning. Fire. Water. There we go. Diz gained a level. Idia gained a level. Magnolia gained a level. And I got 4 elixirs.
We did it! Somehow.
I've seen monsters in my day, but nothing like that.
Belphegor's power, the power of sloth, is ours! We've defeated 2 of the 7 great sins, but 5 still remain.
I obtained the Scroll of Sloth. Oh, okay.
Let's give them all we've got!
Guys, I've got this!
There we go. One elixir.
Everyone's still in one piece?
More or less.
Satan's power, the power of wrath, is ours! There were 7 beasts of sin. 4 still remain.
I obtained the Scroll of Wrath. What? How? How do I deal with that? Wow. Okay. Magic bottle. Goes down. Next potion. And open mushroom.
Now you're gonna get it!
Wanted you to do. There we go. And an elixir?
Everyone's still in one piece?
More or less.
That was ridiculous.
Leviathan's power, the power of envy, is ours!
I had to use two
There were
1-up
7
mushrooms
beasts
for
of sin.
that.
We've come far, but there's still 3 more!
I got the Scroll of Envy.
The monument!
Another sin beast!
A Lavash! Mammon, the manifestation of avarice! Look sharp, everyone!
Okay. Weak to fire and wind. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. Weak to wind. Can't undo while ghost? Oh, come on. There we go. You gained a level. I got an elixir.
Everyone's still in one piece?
Barely.
More or less.
Mammon's power, the power of avarice, is ours! 5 down, 2 to go!
Scroll of Greed. What? I did not see that one coming. Wow! I didn't know he could do that either. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Really? Really? You're gonna do that to me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! wish I didn't have to keep doing that.
Here I go!
Oh. You gained a job level and learned the support ability BP Skilled Amp.
Everyone still in one piece?
More or less.
Beelzebub's power, the power of gluttony, is ours! All right, everyone, we're down to our last foe.
The Scroll of Gluttony.
Dear? Look at the monument! Huh?
We all know the routine by now. Care to do the honors, Magnolia? Last but not least...
Asmodeus, the manifestation of lust! Look sharp, everyone!
Wait to water and wind. Okay. Okay.
Now you're gonna get it! One's weak to wind. Nah. I'll be doing better just doing high jump.
Nice job. Nice job, buddy. Wow. Okay. At least she's at least while a ghost, she can't be charmed, so there's that. Tiz gained a level. Idiot gained a level. And I got an elixir.
We did it! We really did it! Wait, how many were left?
That was the last one! Huh? What's this? To my ever-loyal Minister of the Right, keep up the hard work. And thanks for all the croissants.
There's where they went!
Yōko. Yes, I shall redouble my efforts.
Again with the croissants! Doesn't she care about anything but food?
Look who's talking.
And I got the Scroll of Lust. Alright, that's gonna close it for today. So when we come back next time, we will be heading off to Anna, because for some strange reason, we're looking for a fairy. At any rate, that's going to be all for today, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.